I'm making this video about information gathering really. I wanted to find out if with the way the specialists that represent the defendants, how they could come and call us liars and we're fabricating everything. Are we allowed to put these people's photo on the internet? Because the thing is, because they can speak of us so, any way they like, and the attitude these people have as if they are gods telling the court, like psychiatrists, like from what I've read all about. And I think if you go to my friend's area on here on YouTube, what you click, you would see what, the end results of what some professors say about psychiatry, and to think that they can, their information all taken in by the courts, and there's no way of, I'll put their name on the internet, but really we need to know, their neighbors need to know what sort of asshole they are. But anyway, I hope that you could reply to me and saying that are we allowed to put, like, Mr. So and so, specialist psychiatrist, his photo, and what he looks like, and what he claims that we are. But really, just please, those with, because I think we've got everything here on YouTube, including the royal family, so there must be somebody with a bit of a ability in this area that could communicate with us on. But one of the main things I wanted to make this video for is it is important. Will be one of the most important videos I made for personal injury cases. One of the important things, if you have a accident or injury, that you got to realize that these people are going to dig up your past, everything you've done. Even you ran a business, they say you lie, you never had this business all these years. So it's good that in my case, we were brought up not to lie and be honest with our friends and people. So unfortunately, for them, this case will be quite an interesting case because we don't lie. One of the most important thing you need to have when you end up in a case like this, you need a tape recorder, right? You also need a camera, to take pictures of all what's happened, even though after the accident you can't get there or whatever to do it. Whatever you can, you got to do it, because when this accident happened in 2003, the camera phones were pathetic pictures, and the camera phone that I had, they told me it was the best on the market. It was by Panasonic, but the qualities of the pictures was absolutely awful. But thank God today, there's some fantastic phone cameras on the market. But this is the one that we had. I bought this just after the accident because this was the thing that a lot of people like used to talk about. The problems you get in an accident. Like I used to go in one ear rolling out the other, but I decided eventually, that I should get one because this cost me £200. It was ICD MX20 Sony. It's probably like, because this came out about in 2000, just before 2003, so it's probably quite an old phone now. I mean a old tape recorder. It's a digital tape recorder. As you can see, it tapes up to 11 hours 45 minutes, which is fantastic, and you can put a spare cartridge in after that, and it goes on for another 11 hours and 45 minutes. But the size of the phone is only a tiny little thing like this. If you see my hand next to it, and you can see the size of the phone, it's only a tiny little phone. I mean a phone, I keep calling this a phone, a tape recorder. But one thing good about this tape recorder, the reason why I bought it, is because you can point it at different ranges and it'll pick up sounds. The thing that the guy who sold it to me pointed this thing to the other side of the, because I bought it in Tottenham Court Road. If you know Sony, in Tottenham Court Road is a massive big shop, and he pointed it to it on the other side of the room. There was a conversation going on with somebody else who was serving the other side of the room, and we could hear every conversation that was made from the other side of the shop, with all the noise going on quite clearly in a directional field set. So it shows you the miracles we got today on the market. So if you can't afford this, just a basic tape recorder will do. And but one of the most important tools. Well, we started off with the camera and we went on to the tape recorder. But also, if you have a digital video, it is important that you also film the scene or whatever accident there is all this information. Don't think it's not worth it. Don't think you can trust the solicitors. You're taking on something, and the establishment basically. And I never understood how the establishment work and how powerful and how they're willing to, you think after a massive injury, you'd be treated with a bit of respect and kind. Now you're treated like a bit of shit basically, and it's all down to money and power, and the bigger the firm is that is involved, the bigger establishment behind them that's there to protect them. I'm not at any time I've never blamed Costco for any of these, because to me, when you have a massive big company, you can't keep an eye. Even you have a small business, if you have 3 or 4 shops, you can't keep an eye on everything that's going on in your different shops. So I'm a businessman, I can understand that, so it's all got to do with the establishment and how these things are managed and run, and how cruel they are to the victims of this sort of accidents. We are victims, and they are treating us as if we're dirt and shit basically. Well, now we move on to that. You got to keep records of everything that happened, every email, every conversation. I know it's hectic, it is so pathetic, but if you have small accidents, you still need to watch all this. But massive accidents where the claimant is injured and can't help themselves, if somebody's got to get involved and participate in it, you got to keep records of everything that happened and why, because they will use all this against you. Like, I'm lucky that I've got a computer, it's a Mac, and it's very helpful in keeping records in every way. We can hide different documents in different, in America and God knows what else. So it is definitely required. Just goes to show. I'm just going to show you some of the ways that the documents are kept. Right, I've go to here and I've got it in Mary's accident, and there's all different files for different things, but like different things about Costco and Mary's accident photos and NHS, like what all the documents on NHS, that all the psychiatrists, and you got to keep all these records. Not only that, you've got to tape all the things that happen along the way, and this is all the cases. It starts from 2003 with the first solicitor, like 2003, Colin James was the solicitor, Colin is myself. Open that, and there you are. This is all the documents in 2003, all my documents in 2004, all my documents in 2005, and it just goes on, and all his documents that he sent in 2003, 2004, 2005, and now we move to the next solicitor, which is Vanderpump and Sykes, Andrew Barrett. Click him on. As you can see, they're all color coded, and remembering that the solicitor had 2 claimants, myself and my wife, right? My wife by then couldn't do much, and nevertheless he owed her a duty. He was actually being paid for her and all, and myself. So and he wanted 16,000 for her letters and my letters, right? But let's have a look at at the letters we received from him. There you are. In 2003, you know, this is all this is me. This is from him, James, right? All green, right? He virtually emailed us the whole time in 2003. You know, bearing in mind that look, 2004. You know, bearing in mind that he he probably claimed, right, for letters rather than emails. But if you look at all the color coding, all emails in different names, myself is a different color, and in his name it's all green. Virtually he wrote us, you know, one letter, I think, or two, basically one letter. You know, the thing is, it's like, it makes you wonder how these people make their money. You know, like, they email me. My wife doesn't have a computer. They were still getting paid for dealing with her. So we both should have had individual letters. But my wife couldn't work the computer now if she tried, because like she's forgotten everything how to use it. But there again, that's another one, that you need to keep records. You know, I don't only have it all on my computer. I'll have all the letters dated and everything. I've got a big box about that bloody large, full of all the letters, you know, and filed away for, you know, for the letters as the originals, and all these will be classed as copies, I suppose. But very important. You got to keep these things, otherwise, you know, you're going to be surprised how they're going to be talking to you and calling you a liar, calling every bloody thing under the sun. You know, to think that fabricating everything, you know, some washing machine drop on you from 30 feet, you're fabricating it, you know. It's ironic, but that is very important for those who have an accident. You know, don't take it lightly. Or those who know of a friend who have an accident, if you got a phone that can take pictures of, you got a tape recorder, you know, that they can tape, lend it to them, because you know you be helping them massively, massively. You know, this is what friends are for, and this is what we are all about. The reason why we don't have democracy is because we give the people opportunity to undermine us. If we want a better society, we've got to do these things, and we've got to come to terms that we can't rely on the people that we should be relying on. We can't trust anybody anymore. If it means having a, you know, camera, a tape recorder, a video camera, all these things, you know, keeping records of every damn thing under the sun, it may eventually, you know, because when you create opportunity for these people to undermine you, they will take it, because there's millions to be made from it, you know. And you know, when you look at the profits, the true profits, I bet you, that insurance company make, they run into billions. If they were, you know, making a loss, why won't we give it back to the people to run, you know, insurance companies? Because I believe that insurance should be run by the people anyway, because I think, you know, it's totally non-logical where you leave it into the hands of private companies when you got people badly injured, you know. But when you think that the NHS, you know, what solicitors make, if you go to any barrister on a website and see the bulk of the money they make, they earn, comes from the NHS through clinical negligence, you know. No wonder the NHS is bankrupt. The amount of lawsuits they get for clinical negligence is just unbelievable. Because why? It's owned by us, the people. You know, it's like, come and sue us. You know, there's a massive big pocket here, you know, to come and take as much, make a good living out of it. But the key to it all is that we have got to remove that opportunity from them to be corrupted. The more we can work together to remove these opportunities, don't look at this side and think, oh, this guy, another accident case and whatnot. Look at it as yourself, and then you can begin to realize that we all can be affected sometime in our lives by this sort of problem.